Heritage Sports, the Colorado Buffaloes have just released their spring football roster for 2023. This is different from the signing day list. It's everybody. One thing that struck me that was something kind of talked about on this channel before about my football experience. There can be a lot of players on a college football team. In the spring, they have listed, by my count, 112 football players on their roster, which is insane. It's a lot. But I mean, like I said, it's not unheard of. When I played, we had 1 through 100, and it wasn't even like it is now, where the NCAA will allow players to wear the same number as long as they don't play on the field simultaneously. So that's not unheard of, but it's 112 people. It is a lot. That's a lot of kids, and I can guarantee you that either through walk-ons or transfers or whatever the case may be, that's not going to be the roster going into the fall. They're going to continue to tweak, and some people are going to fall out through the spring and say, okay, I'm not going to play here, or I'm not going to have the time that I would want here. So they may, figure something out or whatever. But I fully anticipate it not being 112 players. When we go through the roster, I'm going to show you in a second that remember Shilo is not on the roster currently. From my understanding, he's graduating from Jackson State this semester, so he is not, on the roster just yet. But one thing I absolutely love is it's refreshing to see not only a black coach be at a Power Five, especially only Hall of Fame coach, but you can see it in his staff. I mean, it is insane kind of staff. Like, it's huge. So, we'll go through the players and whatnot in a little bit, but I just wanted to take some time to just admire the staff, because we went over the coaching staff, but it is so much bigger than that. All right, way, way, way bigger. So you start off with Coach Prime, Coach Kelly, my former defensive coordinator Gary Harrell, Sean Lewis, all those coaches. But it just is not that. You go to quality control analysts, offense, defense, special teams, football assistants, graduate assistants, director of football sports performance, assistant head strength and conditioning coaches, chief of staff, assistant chief of staff, I'm sure, and general manager and executive director for community engagement and outreach, a football ambassador, director of football operations, director of sports video, director of player development, alumni relations, director of player development, director of recruiting, director of creative services, associate director of player personnel, assistant director of football operations. It just goes on and on. Recruiting assistant, administrative assistant, character coach. That is, you don't get that at most colleges. So to know that they have all those resources at his fingertips is fantastic. So expecting big things. All right, let's break it up. Let's look at the roster. We're going to go by positions, all right? So as you can see, it starts off with the cornerbacks. It's a lot of cornerbacks. They're going to have a deep, deep room, and we'll see how it bears out. We know Cormani is coming. Cormani McLean is coming in the fall. So they have over 10 cornerbacks, 12 cornerbacks that look ready to go. Whether it's sophomore, juniors, freshmen, transfers like Travis Hunter, graduate transfers. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Their D-line is stacked too. Now, I will say, to me, just looking at their heights and their weight a little bit, the D-line still needs to be revamped. They seem just on the smaller end. I get the Pac-12 is going to be more throwing, but they're going to need a little bit bigger forces in there, and those big guys get tired. So you can't just say, "Oh, I got a big 6'3", 310-pound defensive lineman." They're going to get tired, and you're going to have to sub them out. One thing I didn't like, they only got one fullback on the roster. What? No, man. We need multiple fullbacks. The inside linebacker room looks good. A lot of them are basically 6'3", 225, or guys who are 6'3" that are going to grow into their body. I will say the main guy that's made a lot of headway, Levanta Bentley, He came over from Clemson. I didn't know he was that small, but if the kid could play, he could play. Coach Hart is going to have a lot of linebackers to choose from. Then we go to the offensive linemen. Offensive linemen look good. I'm kind of curious. I want to see in the spring who will be the left tackle, who's going to be the quarterback's, left tackle. That's the main thing. They throw the ball a lot. They're going to be rushing the passer. Jeremiah Brown, there he is, outside linebacker. As you can tell, he's one of the Louis bags. 6'3", 260, 6'3", 235, 6'5", 230. Their outside linebackers look like they're going to be athletic. And here go the offensive tackles, kind of I was talking to you about Travis Gray, Alex Harkey, Isaiah Jada. He's a big kid. Oh, Savion Washington coming over from Kent State, graduate. Came over with Coach Lewis. I mean, he's a huge kid, so we'll see how that works out. Then they got the punters, the place kickers, my man Mata, I see you. And it's pretty interesting. When you look at quarterbacks, is these three freshmen, sophomore, but the main thing is Shador. Heisman candidate Shador Sanders out of Dallas, Texas, came from Jackson State. They're going to go as far as his arm can take them. So we go through the running back room. Dylan Edwards, much talked about, 5'9", 165. He's electric, but he's going to have to definitely get in that weight room a little bit more. There's another running back, Christian Serum, Deion Smith, J.L. Sachs, Victor Venn. I think they're going to add to that position come transfer time. Safeties, that Coach Kelly's big on safeties. Oh, 6'4", 220 kid. I hope he can play. So I think they got a large safety room. We'll see how that goes, especially when you have a quarterback in the Pac-12. You got to get them ready because they're going to be throwing the ball. So the ball's going to be up in the air a lot. The tight end room is really large. One of the largest tight end rooms I've ever seen or known about. Eric Olsen, Austin Smith, Sadu Traore. So 6'4", 210. I know he's been made a lot of attention from London, England, then transferred from Arkansas State. A lot of big things coming from him. But there's a lot of competition in that tight end room. So the spring is going to be really, really key. Wide receivers, rangy. I like it, from 6 feet, 190, 6'3", 5'10", 6'2". Caleb Mathis, he's been on some of the videos for them coming over. There's a wide range, 6'3", 6'5". Kids can play. Can they catch the ball? That's going to be the biggest thing. Can they catch the ball? They will be throwing the ball. And then there's the coaching staff. So Coach Prime has got all the resources in the world. He's got a large roster, 112. Remember what I was telling you all. Not all these kids are going to travel. I mean, it's going to be crazy. The game day on a Colorado home game, it's going to be a packed sideline. But when they travel and go places, it's going to have a travel squad, and they're not going to be able to bring 100 and some odd kids. So I going over the roster, like I said, I feel that the offensive linemen are a little bit light. I think they only got one fullback. You got to have more than one fullback. That's just, you got to be able to hit people. And don't get me wrong, they can probably convert some tight ends as well because the tight end room is deep. Or if you're in a pinch, you can have a tight end in backfield and be able to block. I thought the weaknesses were the offensive line, a little bit of defensive line, the receivers were, you just got to see if they can catch. But to me, they're well primed to go into spring. Again, the spring game has been announced, the black and gold spring game. That's what they call it. But that's going to be in April. So it's going to be an interesting time to see how it bears out because there's going to be the practices start next month, and then it's the build up to the April game. And now we're going to see who can actually play. And from that April game, once it's over, they'll do evaluations and then tell kids basically the truth. Look, you're not going to be, on the team, or you should hit the transfer portal, or we loved you as a walk-on, we let you walk on, but we don't think we're going to have a place for you here. That happens. Just because you walk on doesn't mean you're going to be able to stay there. They have other players they may need to get in. And again, Coach Prime has already been on record saying he's going to bring in transfers after the spring. So they're going to have opportunities to tweak and move guys around or focus on finally see what the pieces look like together and what they need to get to the next level. Running backs as well. So they're gonna probably emphasize on playmakers and beefing up some of the deficiencies in the line. So either way, it's gonna be exciting. Going to see where they are in the fall versus TCU. I cannot wait. I'm not gonna be able to go to the spring game, but it's gonna be something that's gonna be on ESPN. I don't know how many spring games are on ESPN. I know Ohio State has had spring games. I believe LSU's had spring games on ESPN, but here comes Colorado. So it's going to be a lot of things to look forward to. Anyway, thank you all so much. Please continue to like, subscribe, comment. Love all the interactions and check out our community page. We post on that daily, from memes to cool stuff to stuff to argue about, stuff to talk about, stuff to think about. Y'all hold it down. Heritage Sports.